stake. Yeah, there's no vote at stake.
It's not good.
Minutes, do we have approval for minutes?
I don't want to.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Favor? Aye.
Right, moving into the packet, the first item is a letter that was sent to Mass Dot requesting permission to put a no turn on red sign right here at this intersection here. And had the engineer research it, and it does meet the criteria for a no turn on red. And as a matter of fact, just today, we received a letter from Mass Dot telling us that, yeah, you can put a no turn on red sign there.
Yeah.
So what is gonna
Which
happen?
spot?
Right here.
Oh, so.
Because you're
you can't
coming
take
down,
right,
so you can't just slingshot around the corner anymore.
Yeah, well, the pedestrians have the blinking light to cross, and they come to a stop and then continue to go, but even somebody's in the crosswalk, they beep at them because they have,
But
you
the
know,
crosswalk
they're
on
turning
this
on
side,
red,
we don't want that
but,
side.
you know.
There isn't one on that
You
side.
can see this thing when it's flashing and people are crossing.
Yeah,
the
but
street.
nobody has
Because you got
patience.
some of the traffic coming out from one Cottage Street.
So now I can't go on red because other people still.
Exactly.
Yes, yes.
That's exactly.
That's-
And I told Joe we're probably gonna need a 4x4 sign.
Big one.
Yeah, what
So
we're
people-
gonna do is we'll
We'll
have to get our contractor that fixes the overhead lights we'll get a sign, have him install one
On the lights.
up there next to the light so they can see it, because just having it on the ground, it's not gonna be enough, no turn on red. They're not gonna see that. They're gonna be looking at the light, so that's the best place to put it.
People go through them anyway, so it's
People are
really.
gonna go through them anyway, and it's gonna be
I
an
see it all the time, I'm like,
Yeah.
That's an
that's
enforcement
supposed
issue.
it's gonna be an enforcement issue with the police department.
Right.
And I,
People just at the top of Union Street, just, there's lights there, but they
like,
just.
right,
Yeah.
and there's a no turn on red there, but they just,
Red light, what's the light? It's a red light in front of you.
yeah.
right.
Just go through. Yeah. The next item is the bridge inspection of the Fort Hill Manhan River. And for the most part, it's in decent shape. There's some stuff piled up in front of it, but when we get a chance, we'll go in with our catch basin cleaner, the grapple. That's another reason why we really want to hang on to that, because we can hang it over, stick
Pick
stuff
up all
up
the
and
debris.
pull it out.
Oh, without getting a heavy bigger machine. in there.
Without renting a machine or a crane or something.
Okay. But that one, yeah, that one takes some heat.
The last thing I want to show you is we opened bids on our complete streets and our Union Cottage Street, and it looks like Goncalves is the low bid. Gonzalez, gotta say it right.
I always say it wrong.
And out of that, what's it, 516,000, is that what they're?
561.
561. 238 of that is gonna be complete streets, which will be the sidewalks, crosswalks. And the rest of it will be the construction work, the mill and fill and paving of Cottage Street. So with that, we're pretty much out of our Chapter 90 money this year. But like you said, it wouldn't make much sense to do nice new crosswalks and not do the road. I know there's an issue that we talked about a little bit with this cultural chaos coming up in June. And I guess as we get closer, we'll have to talk to the contractor and address how that's going to be handled. We've got to do the complete streets before June, or else request an extension, because the money runs out in June, by June 30th. But we can't do the Chapter 90 work till after July, because we can't access that money till after July.
Doesn't exist.
What's that?
It's not in the coffers, so it's
It's not in the coffers till July, and if we start, even though we have our project request form in, and they approve it, if we start it before July 1st, they won't reimburse us. So we've kind of got a dilemma. We've got one source of funding that says we've got to use the money by July 1st, and the other source of funding says we can't use the money until after July 1st. So we've got to figure out how we're going to do that with the cultural chaos in the mix too.
How receptive are they to extending?
I don't know, we've never used that, Complete Streets before, that program. I know you can request an extension, and I'm told that you can get one. The only problem is, I don't know where the contractor's gonna stand. The contractor may say, well, geez, I bid on this thinking that I was gonna get this job in May, June, and now you're pushing me off till end of June, July. That means I have other work going, so I'll see you in August, September. I don't know, So that's something that we,
Well, what would be the conflict so much with the chaos? I mean, it's a Saturday. They're not gonna be working
No.
on Saturday. But
No.
if it's-
And they can move their
the
equipment
streets
out of the way if we give
disrupted
them.
that much, or?
I'm thinking we need to have a conversation with the contractor once the contracts are signed and say, look, we have this event coming up. We've got to make sure that you leave it safe for that weekend and take your equipment out of here.
Right.
And, and if you can't do that, then we've got to come up with Plan B, which is looking for an extension to do it after or late June. If we start late June, he's not going to finish by July 1st, not by June 30th. If he starts late, he's going to need more than 2 weeks to do the crosswalks. He's not going to finish, and if that's the case, then he may, like I said, he may say, well, geez, I've got other jobs, so I'll flip your job with this job, and instead of starting your job first, I'll start this job first, and I'll come back to you later in the summer. So we, I don't know. That's a conversation that we have to have with the contractor once the mayor approves. This paperwork went over to the mayor to approve this contractor. So once it's approved, then I can have dialogue with him and say, look, how do we handle this?
Right, and we'll know like what
Yeah.
would likely be there mid-June for equipment and what would be ripped up.
So as of right now, I don't have any answers other than we've got a little bit of a dilemma, but I'm just hoping that we can work around it and work through it and not have too much of an issue with it.
What was the thoughts on when they were gonna start already, before you?
Our plan was to put the Complete Streets out to bid early so that they could get in probably the first job of the season and do it. But by the time, I guess telling the chairman, by the time we get the contracts all signed up, it's probably gonna be another 3 weeks or so. So we're talking them starting maybe May 15th or something. Now, will they have enough time to do it 3 weeks? Do the crosswalks in 3 weeks and not do the road? I don't know,
Right. Here's hoping they can.
That's
Well,
all.
I thought maybe say, okay,
Yeah.
Never know.
time
Yeah,
would like
they
to
might have
come
it.
to some completion of that Friday of a section of it, where they piece it out.
Yeah.
And then the following Monday, you start the next part.
Yeah, I see, if they've got to tear out some sidewalks to pour concrete, they may want to tear out all the sidewalks so that they can pour them all at once and not tear out a piece of it and then, do a piece and then come back and tear out, I don't know. That's something that we'll have to talk to them about when we have our pre-construction meeting.
Maybe anybody talk to the cultural gas committee about possible conflict?
No,
No.
because I don't know what to tell them, because I'm sitting here telling you that I don't even know what to tell you.
But it certainly affects, like, what happens in my life.
Right.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Especially the big state.
But like I said, I'm sitting here telling you, I don't know what to tell you, so I don't know what to tell, I wouldn't know what to tell them at this point. So, but other than that, that's all I have for the evening.
Okay, we were supposed to have on the agenda this week about the roads in the budget. I talked to the mayor, and arranged for her and the finance director to be here at the next meeting. So I took it off the agenda this this week, put it on the 17th. The 17th is also going to be my last meeting. I got appointed to the board, so I put in my resignation effective that meeting, at the end of that meeting. And I know that there's somebody who has applied. I spoke to him, he had a few questions. And his name is named before to appointments. An engineer who has worked with other towns on stormwater runoff and things like that, so